What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to JRHikes. My name is JR. And in this video today, I'm going to go over safety precautions for your feet. What I do to keep my feet protected and safe while I'm out on trail. I am going to be headed out to the John Muir Trail, and this is the setup that I'm going to use to keep my feet safe and protected. One of the main things that is crucial to keeping your feet protected is, number one, keeping them dry, but also keeping them from overheating. Whenever they overheat, you start to get hot spots on your feet, and that causes blisters. So my setup that I've pretty much dialed in keeps my feet dry and protected so that I don't get blisters on long trips. The longest trip I've had was 77 miles when I did the foothills in South Carolina. This is also the setup that I used. I start off with the Injinji thin liners. They are basically designed as toed socks so that they have individual toes to separate each toe, so you have a layer of protection so your little digits aren't rubbing together. Mostly comprised of Cool Max. Not quite sure what that material is, but its design is to keep your feet dry. They are extremely quick wicking. They are made from 75% Cool Max. The other 21 and 4% are nylon and Lycra. The next item of protection are the Darn Tough crew cut socks. These have probably got to be my favorite brand of socks. Not just for the simple fact that they are warranted for life. Made of merino wool, these socks are designed to breathe, but they also keep your feet extremely warm in low temperatures, which is great. Now, when you couple these with the Injinji Liners, you're creating two different surfaces to protect your feet from getting hot spots. The idea is, instead of skin on the outer layered socks, you have an added layer of protection with the Injinji socks. Because of the fact that both of these socks are well ventilated and quick wicking, it keeps your feet dry to keep that moisture level down that also creates hot spots. And covering those socks are going to be the Altra Superior 4.0s. By far, this has got to be my favorite pair of shoes. Now, I started out probably like everyone else. I was wearing, I think Columbia's were my first pair of boots. And a lot like everyone else, I did start out in boots, and I found out quickly that wearing boots are not the most comfortable on trail, especially on long distances, not to mention the fact that your feet do overheat. Your feet also are going to retain moisture inside of those boots also, or more typically, because of the fact that a lot of the boots are either Gore-Tex or waterproof. And one of the main problems with that is it does keep water out, but unfortunately it keeps water and moisture inside of the shoe. Now, with the Ultras, they're extremely lightweight, they're extremely breathable, and they dry out rather fast. So that's going to keep my feet dry as well as keep them cool so that they don't overheat. Now, I went ahead and added the shock cord instead of laces. And one of the reasons why I like the shock cord is because I can slip my shoe on and off relatively quickly. And they have this, what they call lock laces, which is kind of like a barrel lock. You just slide that down the shock cord and it tightens your shoe. That's going to help prevent your shoes coming untied, getting tangled up and causing you to fall and skin your knee. Now, Altra is probably one of the most popular shoes amongst thru hikers. I've chosen to go with the Superior 4.0s because of the fact that I have really fat, flat feet. And these seem to be the ones that fit me the most. The zero drop is my best friend. That means that there is no rise in the heel. That gives me the ability to walk flat-footed as my foot is intended to walk. Also, you'll notice that the Ultra has an extremely wide toe box. That's for my big fat feet. One of the major benefits of that wide toe box is that it allows your toes to stay spread out when you're walking, as your foot is intended to do. You're less likely to have blisters form as well as hot spots while inside of the shoe. On the bottom of the shoe, you're going to notice the very well-known tread pattern, which is the big foot. This is the Max Trax. Really great lugs on it, great for traction, great for climbing rocks, but also handles really well in muddy conditions. One thing that comes along with the Superiors, I'm not sure about the Lone Peaks because I have yet to get a pair of Lone Peaks. I've had the Temps, but they also include what they call the Stone Guard. And the Stone Guard is a nice thin piece of plastic, like a rubbery piece of plastic, that goes in underneath the sole of the shoe. So you take that, slide it in underneath the sole, and that adds a protective layer to keep things from piercing in through the bottom or just that feel of a sharp rock penetrating the bottom of the shoe. One of the things that I run into when on a longer distance trail is the heightened potential for rocks and debris to get inside of the shoe. And that's what the Gaiter is for. Now, during the design of the Altras, they specifically had in mind the ability to accommodate a gaiter, and then also what they call the gaiter trap on the back of the shoe. And the gaiter trap is a Velcro attachment that enables you to adhere your gaiter to the back of the shoe, and then the hook to the loop in the front of the shoe. And that covers the entire opening to the shoe. So as you're hiking, debris cannot get down inside of the shoe. I have found these to be invaluable on longer distance trips. Now, once you've got your footwear dialed in, Footcare is next. Catchy, huh? One of the main things that I carry with me on trail is a tennis ball. Now, there are a couple of different companies that make cork balls, which I'm looking into. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have time to use one. I'm going to have to stick with the tennis ball for this trip. But one of the nice things about it is rolling my foot out at the end of the day. When you're hiking anywhere from 12 to 14, 18 miles a day, your feet start to feel that. So breaking up that muscle in your feet really help out to help that foot heal for the next day. So carrying a tennis ball with you or some sort of massage ball is a great idea and a really nice hack when you're on a long trip to get your feet repaired for the next day. Leuko Tape is my best friend. I've had several different instances where I started getting hot spots on my feet and I immediately leaned on some Leuko Tape. Leuko Tape is not an inexpensive fix. I think it's like $10 a roll. Basically what I do is I'll take a roll of Leuko Tape and put it around my pill bottle. Inside of that pill bottle typically will have my waterproof matches, my extra lighter, such. I'll put that around the outside of it. So in the event that I do have a blister that starts to form, I'll peel some of that off, I'll clean my foot real well and cover that area with some Leuko Tape. Inside of that, one other item that does keep my feet in tip-top shape on long trips, oftentimes people tend to forget to trim their toenails. I carry a really small pair of fingernail clippers, and at the end of the night, once or twice a week, at the end of the night, it's a good idea to sit down and trim your toenails back. That way you're not getting pressure against your toenail inside of your shoe. More times than not, that's one of the leading reasons for toenail loss on a long trip. Your feet are the most important thing when you're out on trail. The amount of hours and the amount of miles that you put down on your feet are detrimental. So it's best and it's advised to make sure to take care of your feet while out on trail. So keep some of these things in mind, keep some of these things in your pack, and that will help lengthen the life of your feet. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I am exhausted filming this video. If you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Give the channel a like if you feel like any of this content was worthy. Great information for you, maybe helped you out on the trail in the future. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.